So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, into game number 2 for That Tasted Purple versus Hungover Gragas. That Tasted Purple leads 1-0 as we head in. On the blue side of the map this game will be Hungover Gragas fighting for their lives. In the top lane will be Neo playing Poppy. In the jungle, STL Del Taco playing Skarner. In mid, Sperm Sauce on the Lux. And in the bot lane, Ezreal God X and Glitter Bay on Twitch and Nami. Or Twitch and Lulu. That's a weird Nami skin.
Anyway, on the red side of this game, That Tasted Purple. We got Commander 1234 on the Warwick. Free gold into bank for HQ. We've got FM on the Volibear in the jungle. Definitely a strong champion right now. We got Talia in the mid lane as Duckster's rocking her. Going to be throwing once again another rock. And we've got Tastic Noctua and HQ on the Lucian brand combo. The super early game.
So as we set up, we are playing the Skarner minigame again. There's a lot of gold being exchanged. I'm not sure we can definitively give a lead here. Guess it's not important. We did see That Tasted Purple had the early 15 gold advantage, and that helped snowball the game entirely. So I did just notice it does flip the faces for me when I flip them on the scoreboard.
Yeah. I believe why it didn't do it for me game 1 was because I tried flipping the scoreboard while we were still like negative time.
Have to wait till you get that into spectate, I guess. How do you feel about the Warwick versus Poppy matchup in top lane?
I'm gonna assume Poppy W cancels his Q. If he holds it, at least. I don't know. It'll be an interaction that I'll be trying to watch this game.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. Commander's played it before in top lane. He seems actually relatively comfortable on the top lane Warwick. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. There's the Electrocute proc early on from Sperm Sauce, but Dexter getting the better advantage with the autos on the end of it. Again, standard jungle pathing from both junglers as they both started on the right side of the map and are headed to the left.
It was interesting seeing how low Skarner was getting off his first clicks. I thought you were supposed to be able to do like a full clear. Oh, Cleanse was using the mid lane.
Ooh, the flash in from Commander trying to get the chomp onto Neo. Neo hits level 3 off of the one minion. Del Taco and FM are both here. Flip from Volibear back. He does a lot of damage now. You gotta be careful. He's got the red buff, gonna flash in on Neo. Gets the chomp as well. And the flash away from Neo will get him out to safety. FM's still on the hunt. He's got the Volibear passive as well. Lands the flip. Getting the passive up, but he gets burst out through it as Del Taco picks up first blood.
Double buffs, refresh for your jungler there. It'll help Skarner farm faster, get to level 6 quicker.
They were able to chunk him out through that Volibear passive. The I'm gonna just get a name, the Chosen of the Storm.
You just want to keep an eye. Oh, good.
You always just imagine Volibear's names were designed by somebody who is heavily into Viking mythology.
Definitely. I was going to mention that that's an Infernal Drake as your first dragon in this game. So expect high priority there. And with the early shove and power from That Tasted Purple's bottom lane, you should expect that to maybe be a huge focus of theirs.
That second summon Airy proc on the burn is super annoying too.
Yeah, there's a couple times where I've almost tilted, just like seeing it in mid lane.
Anyway, Commander actually didn't go back. Interestingly, he chose just to stay there and regen, so he's at an item disadvantage, but has a level advantage against Neo, now that everything's pushing in. Ooh. So
Keeps walking into the back half of that queue.
Yeah, the back half of the... Well, right now we're going to watch Lulu die as HQ gets the all of the brand skills. Del Taco's here, as is Sperm Sauce, trying to chase down Tacit Noctua. Duckster here. Oh, the Seismic Shove is flashed over by Del Taco as he picks up his second kill of the game. So nice play there from Del Taco. I don't think he's got Dragon in his sights just yet, but we're getting close. I was trying to make a point that you want to dodge the second half of the Poppy Q. The first half doesn't. It hurts a little. But the second half does percent health damage. That's where the real danger is in the Poppy Q. So, for all of you up there laning against Poppy, Commander's finally forced back to base. We'll see what he gets on his first buy here. Del Taco and Ezreal God are going to go ahead and do this. HQ's walking in. Everybody's low. Duckster flashes in. Baron. Oh,
Duckster gets the dragon.
Yeah, Duckster gets the dragon with the threaded volley. And the kill, as well as Del Taco goes down. That'll be a small shutdown as well, because he had 2 kills.
Feels good. If you're the Talia, anyway.
Yeah, if you're the Talia. Commander trying to take a fight. He needs to chunk him below half. That's where you get that attack speed buff. And then your fight starts to even out a little bit. We still haven't seen that interaction you were wondering about. The W keeps coming out after the Q.
He's also just kind of been munching. He hasn't been holding it to jump behind her.
You would think it would be standard throughout, though. Like, it's got to be a dash before and a dash after if it's... I don't know. That would make sense to me. HQ is standing in the bush and is going to just go ahead and feast on Ezreal God. Kill actually goes over to Tacit Noctua. He's not really important, though, in this lane.
It's how much damage can the brand do. Carry the Lucian to his early spikes. Let him become the double gun monster that he is. At least I wish he was.
Yeah, we'll have to see how little Obama 2-gun scales into late game. He's gotten some compensation buffs recently. The wall going to come out behind Neo. He doesn't have flash to get back over it, so somebody should probably die at the end of this. But Dexter's threaded volleys haven't been exactly the most accurate, but he will pick it up eventually. There's no one even remotely close to try to respond. So really nice call from Dexter to go ahead and use the Weaver's Wall up in top lane, and that'll pick up a really free kill for them.
One thing he's been doing this game much better than his last Talia game last week is he's roaming. He's trying to make an impact elsewhere. I think I was watching the last game and taking notes, and it took him 13 minutes for him to actually leave mid lane. Like not even really roam, just 13 minutes to like get out of the lane.
Meanwhile, we've already seen him pick up a kill near bottom and pick up another one top, so...
Definite improvements on the roaming champion.
Yeah, showing really good awareness. Ooh, the
unlucky.
The Seer gets blocked by the minion there. Cleanse gonna come out from Duckster. That Electrocute proc actually hurting quite a bit. Sperm Sauce now trying to run through the boulders, and Ephem's going to go ahead and flash and hit him with the extra damage. The Aftershock picks up the kill. Commander's now locked down. Going to just be wide on the Infinite Duress. Impale comes out from Del Taco. Going to force the flash out, but not a whole lot there in return. And we're seeing the script kind of reverse here. This is, well, there's HQ picking up another kill in bottom. I almost wasn't going to pay attention to that, but... more fighting in mid as Duckster still has stuck around despite having about 200 health, and he and F have taken this decent chunk out of Neo. Anyway, we've seen the script completely reversed from last game. We saw Hungover Gragas jump out to a huge lead in game number 1, and then the slow, inevitable comeback from that Tasted Purple while having the slightly better late-game scaling team. I think the script's very, very reversed this game. I think that you'd take Hungover Gragas' team in the late game, and they find themselves in a hole early. We'll have to see if they can take a page out of their opponent's book, as it were.
Yeah, Twitch Lulu in a late game is absolutely disgusting. But you've got the super winning lane, bottom lane early. You got Lucian and Brand, super strong early game damage. Julia is really good at pushing and roaming and putting out a bunch of early damage. Not so sure about Warwick top just because it's not a super played thing. And then Volibear is more of a early to mid game champion too, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but that's always been my belief. He gets a mid game chomp spike, like level 9.
Yeah, he does scale pretty well, though, because you continue to get more damage on your W the more health you build.
Yes. I just feel like once you get later into the game, it's easier to kite him with items and or grouping.
Yep. Neo's in trouble now. Ooh, the Keeper's Verdict's actually going to be interrupted there by the toss from FM. Going to force the flash away. Infinite Duress lands from Commander, and he's going to pick up that kill. That has to feel pretty good after getting solo killed last game. Sperm Sauce is caught now, trying to respond, and Dexter cuts him off. The threaded volley doing a lot of damage, forces out the barrier. FM on pursuit. The Weaver's Wall is going to come over, and Sperm Sauce will go ahead and pick that one up. Del Taco just trying to fight 1v2. I don't think this is going to work out super well for him. He's going to flash over the knockback, though. And this sets up a Rift Herald for that Tasted Purple? I guess so.
Dexter, you had mana flow available. You took all the mana from Commander. You owe him a cookie or something.
Maybe a nice honey fruit. I'm sure those are real. Next dragon's an air dragon, by the way, so feels bad.
It feels bad. I mean, with two pretty linear champions, Warwick and Volibear, it's not bad. Or like someone who's immobile like the Brand.
FM's going to go ahead and take the Rift Herald. Neo and Del Taco are going to go ahead and try to fight this out. FM gets the small knockback with the Roar now. There's the big buff being exhibited very nicely. I also like the choice of a Northern Storm Volibear. I guess while we have our resident Aatrox expert, I guess I'll consider myself a connoisseur of Volibear skins. But yeah, if you can't get the full visual upgrade from Runeforge, I think Northern Storm is the best Volibear skin. I guess a bit of a side note, one of the friends that I learned to play League of Legends with was a Volibear main. Back then we used to think he was super broken, and I guess he kinda was. But nobody could 1v1 this man's Volibear. It didn't matter what you picked. Unfortunately, he has since passed from us and has gone on to other games that aren't nearly as time-consuming, but there will always be that Volibear main in our hearts. Commander and Neo are fighting, and no one's really losing any health at any significant pace, but it looks like Neo's getting a little bit of the better advantage here. He has...
At the current rate, it'll come down to will Infinite Duress land and will Commander get the healing back from it, I believe, if they continue to slap each other for a while.
Dexter's forced to cleanse there as he gets rooted up. We're watching, there's the Infinite Duress being showcased immediately, and you can chomp through the W, we just found out. Kill, Air Dragon, another kill going over to that Tasted Purple. Lux is forced into their own jungle. FM's going to go ahead and drop the Rift Herald here in mid lane, and there's 3.5 people here in mid to try to push this down, as Brand's a little bit late to the party. But that should be the first turn of the game in mid. Boom. There we go. And the snowball's been set up. This is a little bit earlier than we saw last game from Hungover Gragas. This is a 4,000 gold lead at almost 14 minutes. Neo's going to go ahead and teleport in, trying to force something, but FM gets the bunch of health back from the Chosen of the Storm and is able just to chomp down on him. 11th kill of the game over to that Tasted Purple. And they lose both mid turrets in the process.
I believe Neo really underestimated how much magic damage the Talia and Volibear do between the threaded volley, and then I don't know if Volibear's W does magic damage, but definitely his ults, Thunderpaws, Claws, excuse me. That definitely is a lot of magic damage that just kind of slaps him around.
Brand Ultimate comes in. He gets some favorable bounces there. Gonna go ahead and hit that passive proc on a couple. Glitter Bay gets flipped. Meanwhile, we're watching Commander get suppressed in the top lane. Somebody's finally noticed that he was pushing that tower. Ooh, It's the flash out. I don't know that that was necessary, but...
Whenever I just see Strider running, somebody's like, "Rawr, I'm gonna get this."
These claws. Yeah. Lucian and Brand now having a... Oh no, don't kill the deer ward. Don't do it. Oh. That's just the saddest thing. That's also pretty sad, though. Glitter getting jumped over the wall with really no way to respond. That tower's at about 3 health. I don't think Twitch wants to be here, but he also doesn't really have anywhere safe to go.
I just need to dive that.
They could just kill the tower. Oh, he gets the seismic shove on the invisible Twitch. That's pretty nice. Seer lands into the Pillar of Flame. And the kill in the tower going over to that tasted purple. Now FM and Commander going to make a return trip here as Neo gets flipped. Del Taco's hanging around as well. We have the full top versus jungle 2v2 as Keeper's Verdict decides, we're not going to fight today. Or are we? Because Commander's back on the hunt as he pops the W. Infinite Duress lands onto Skarner. I don't think that was his target initially, but it helps them gap close. FM doesn't have toss for another 9 seconds as he used it to try to get into the fight. FM's taken pretty low. He's healing up a little bit with that Chosen of the Storm, but Del Taco's going to be able to pick up the kill. And now they're turning this back. Commander's out of mana. Flash forward from Neo is going to pin him to the wall. Red Smite as well, just to reduce a little bit of that damage. And Del Taco picks up the kill. That's his 4th of the game, and he's the only person with kills right now on Hungover Gragas. Doesn't this sound eerily similar to what we were talking about last game, on the opposite way? Duckster gets pinned to the wall, going to use the GLP to slow down Neo. Looks what comes through, not able to grab anything. The suppression comes through. They're going to grab Tacit Noctua. Now everybody converging on top lane all of a sudden. Duckster's taken pretty low. The Sunlight proc. Sunlight proc? The Lux proc. Brilliance? Illumination? Something like that. Something stupid. HQ's here. He's going to just throw his ult in. Lands twice onto Del Taco, once onto Neo. Chunks out Skarner, but he gets a little bit of healing back from somewhere. I think he had a potion in there. Sperm Sauce has killed Tacit Noctua back behind everything. As HQ able to solo out on Del Taco. Yeah, Sauce is in the middle of nowhere there. That's a double kill for Commander.
So we're seeing the Leandri's rationale for HKHK on the brand. I suppose with his passive burn, it does count as the damage over time. But I wish he would have gotten like early Sork shoes for the Magic Pen, as he would be deleting people. I was actually kind of almost. I guess Skarner does have the components for an Abyssal Mask already, which is why he didn't do near as much damage as I was expecting.
Yeah, you'd also think that you would want Rylai's before you get the Leandries, just because it helps you land all of your abilities. He hasn't had any difficulty this game, granted, but maybe I'm out of the loop on the brand builds. But Phantom Dancer finished first for Tacit Noctua. Infinity Edge is done for Ezreal God, but he's almost about 2/3 of an item behind. Any thoughts on some of the items that we see coming through?
I didn't mention it earlier, but the Phantom Dancer Rush for Lucian, he went BF Sword into the PD and then Berserker Greaves. I don't know about the Berserkers might just feel good. I'm not sure with the attack speed boots for Lucian. Phantom Dancer itself is fine, but normally you would see like either the Blade of the Rune King or like an Essence Reaver.
Do you think maybe he's going to try to set up? I guess maybe we're thinking too hard about this in a gold cap game, but if you're setting up in that manner, do you think you just want to be in a side lane against Twitch, maybe, and try to duel him with the Phantom Dancer, if that's the ultimate goal?
Pretty much, or duel someone. You're ahead, you're Lucian.
Oh, Neo, that's a good Keeper's Verdict, by the way, knocking both of them back out of there.
I mean, if he's able to keep it to like a 1v1 or 2v2 situation, then the Phantom Dancer will be amazing for him. It'll be a lot less damage, and I guess relying on maybe the extra base crit damage that from the buff. For Lucian, I don't know. It was only a 10% buff scaling. And that was only on the second auto attack.
As a side note, I think on the Keeper's Verdict, they really need to add a voice quote for Poppy where she just says, "Fuck out of here," as she hits him. But
wow. Rated T for not everyone.
Hey, you have Cled's allowed to curse. Poppy should be allowed to. Top needs to restart computer.
Darn it, Neo.
He got ganked. He needs to get it restarted.
It's like the pauses last season for TSM. It was like, oh, Bjergsen died. They need to pause and find a bug.
I'm thinking more about the LCK, QV famously with the toilet issue.
Oh.
That's been my personal favorite one. So anyway, this has been a super interesting game. We've seen a lot of roaming plays being made, and specifically that Tasted Purple has been roaming to the top side of the map to try to help out Commander, who's been struggling at being pushed in basically the entire season. What do you think of that strategy as a whole compared to maybe something else from that Tasted Purple?
I mean, the strengths with their team is it's going to be their mid laner Dexter. He's one of the few higher ranked gold players in the season. With him like playing on a Talia, you're going to roam and want to get fed off the roams. But I would still make more, especially like this game with you've got such an early impactful bottom lane. I would have put a little bit more focus trying to roam bottom, pick up a couple more kills, continue to shut down the Twitch, let the Lucian get a little bit bigger farm lead. They did have the one misplay early, which was more just kind of a unfortunate situation where they almost gave up a dragon. They got lucky and were able to steal it, but it could have and should have had a extremely high focus on that early dragon. Is this a mountain drake right now? No, it's
this is another infernal.
All right, so at this point it should be maybe not free, but mostly actually Taco is a level up on FM still.
That's interesting. I guess it's mostly the kill credit plus the farm difference there.
Mm-hmm. And like even with all the help that Commander's been getting top and all the free time that we've seen with, he only has 68 CS at 19 minutes with just a dead man's purchase. He is sitting on 1,600 gold still. But
so at the same time, do we talk about then, is Neo pushing a little bit too hard? Then is that why he's getting caught and has 5 deaths so far this game, or has it been just because he's been getting focused on that island and the rest of his team needs to try to step up in other places?
I mean, that's certainly part of it. The Volibear's made a bunch of repeat ganks top. Taco has also been top multiple times, and is kind of more recently than not it's been a 2v2 lane, if anything, or 3v2 or 4v2 with like a Lucian Brand rotating up randomly. Neo's naturally going to push that if he's continuing to use his Q on the minion wave, and then he had the Bomby Cinder purchase super early, and then he built the Iceborne after. So just with his purchase, he naturally has pushed himself or set himself up to maybe not overextend, but be forcing that Warwick with the lack of wave clear under his own tower.
So then do you think it's an issue with the item build? Should he be tankier then? Has he just been overextended? I guess where do you think the breakdown is happening then?
See, this is the thing is like I'm not. I hate talking about top lane because I don't. I don't under. They say top lane you're supposed to like learn how to 1v1 with, and these guys being meat shields more than anything. I don't know if like you like. Oh look, they've got a Volibear. They've got a Warwick. That's a bunch of healing. Do I rush a Bramble Vest because no one wants to have any fun this game? But I know that Sheen is extremely fun and pretty. It feels good on the Poppy. Does a huge amount, I believe. So I honestly am unsure. Just it's by far my weakest lane.
Yeah, it does feel like the Iceborne build is a little bit more. I guess you'd call it like a cookie cutter, where you grab that build and you build it every single game. I don't know that it necessarily fits this game. It does certainly help chase down Talia and Brand and Lucian, but I don't know that it's the right item choice. And I guess despite playing top lane this season, I'm not exactly a top lane main either. So,
well, it's like as I mentioned, Warwick is. I don't know necessarily as much with top lane Warwick since he's probably getting a few more autos in his trades, but we've got a Bomby Cinder that's going into Sunfire Cape armor item. We've got the Iceborne armor item, and we have Tabi armor item.
And I guess just to take a quick step back, the reason that we're focusing on top lane so much is kind of what we've covered. The bottom lane's going to be winning naturally with Lucian Brand versus Twitch Lulu. That one's they're just going to have to kind of sit there and scale, unfortunately. So then your other point of emphasis then is mid lane, where we see Duckster just has a big lead. So it's going to be hard to do a whole lot there either.
And that more than anything, that's also part of the flaw with Lux as a champion. I wouldn't call it a flaw, maybe, but that's just where her weakness is. She doesn't have near the wave clear. Even once you have like level 9 or like level 9 to have 5 points into your E, you still can't one-shot casters in the back. Maybe you can with Ludens being the first item now, but up until 8.4, you definitely couldn't. Well, Talia has an extremely easy time shoving wave after wave, and is able to impact the map elsewhere or just bully under a tower. So, like, the only winning lane, or at least pushing lane that we've seen this game for Hungover Gragas has been that top lane.
And then we're still seeing, despite having that push advantage, they're not translating it really into kills or into that advantage. But again, we're still pretty early on. We're at 20 minutes. This is about where we saw. I guess it's a little bit more skewed. We saw probably about a 5,000 to 6,000 gold lead at this point for Hungover Gragas in game number 1, whereas we're seeing a little over almost 7 now for that Tasted Purple this game. What do you think the clock is then? I guess is another question. We have this earlier game team composition. Do you think they start to scale off sooner, or I mean, they're getting these Infernal Dragons.
It is exactly what I was about to mention. It'll kind of almost come down to who gets the second Infernal Drake. Will Hungover be able to match from the 1-for-1 in terms of Drake, or Spicy Drake as we would call them, or will we get a second one to help extend the life or the power of like the early game Lucian or the Brain? Like, I mean, the Brain's always going to put out a stupid amount of damage, but how much will his damage be amped? And so I'm not sure what your exact timer is. If I were Tasted Purple right now, I'd be looking to try and close this game out 25 minutes at the latest. Maybe try and force, like, get a Baron, depending on what the next dragon is, use that as a bait, and then try to push for a win off that, or get a catch in the jungle off of that. But you need to win relatively early. Warwick, it's Warwick. As a laner, I'm not sure.
So, we're seeing right now, just this current setup, you have Neo who's away from the fight, but he has teleport available. Do you think they have to go in and contest this dragon then? Is this the key point of the game that they're going to need to turn it on? Or are they able to, if they come out, even from a fight, or just give it over even without fighting, do you think that they still have a comeback potential?
I mean, yes, but this is where you would probably want to pull the trigger. But at the same time, you're at an item point where, like, your big goal here is to get that Twitch and that Lulu fed, or to like let them exist through that lane, and then like we're 20 minutes in now, so the lane's over. But the Twitch is still sitting on just an Infinity Edge plus 600 gold in his pocket, so he's not at his heal item. He's not going to get to his like Twitch moments where he's going to destroy a team till like 35-40 minutes really at this rate. So, unless you're able to have a Twitch position really well and press R and just kind of get lucky, then, I mean, you have to kind of pull the trigger for this dragon to help him spike a little bit quicker in terms of damage. But
or do you think you can give it up and hope that there's a third Infernal Dragon spawn then that you can take and kind of even it out? Because I think we're both in agreement. A 1 Infernal Drake advantage isn't make or break at this point. But if you start getting 2 or 3, that seems a little bit... Like, the 3 basically secures late game almost no matter what composition you have. The 2 feels bad, but it's play-aroundable, especially early on. So, do you give this up and hope that there's a third one later on, or do you fight it? What's your comms right now? You're Hungover Gragas.
Let's see, looking at waves, if the fight goes bad... At this point, the mid lane's not under control, so I would probably just have to back off and give it. You need someone to clear that mid lane, and Lux doesn't have enough wave clear to do it quickly. So maybe what you do is, at this point, you just kind of let Lux farm. You hopefully get a new Trinket Ward down just in time to see like the dragon or the 1,800 health, and you let Lux press R and hope pray. That's going to be the safe. You don't want to sacrifice a life at this point, especially Skarner. He's most of your gold. since he's been securing a lot of kills.
I think I'm definitely in agreement with you. The only thing I might think, you have teleport advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I almost don't know if you go top and just try to get that first tower, get that little bit of gold back, and go for the miracle steal as well.
Yeah, I was more worried about what would happen if you were to try to fight, because if you lose a fight as Hungover Gragas right now, the mid lane is going to be pushing. We can't pan over right now.
Yeah, mid lane's going to be pushing, plus Baron spawns in 20 seconds as well.
And you already lost both your mid towers, tier 1 and 2, so you're costing yourself an inhib and maybe a Baron. Death timers might be a little too short for both at this point. But with as healthy as that Taste of Purple right now, then like assuming they don't lose members in like a fight or a steal attempt, then they could definitely threaten both an inhib and a Baron.
So it looks like we should be close. I'm not sure why we haven't started yet, actually. There we go. Okay. So I guess we'll see exactly how the... Yeah. I thought we actually had a pretty good conversation, but...
yeah, I mean, for sure. And they're going to make the call to fight for this dragon.
Yeah, there's the teleport from Neo. They don't get in time. That's a clean takeaway from Commander. They're going to go ahead and pull Commander in, though, and get one kill at least. The brawl just kind of commences. Neo's taken really low. Ephraim is healing through everything. There in the middle, he doesn't go down. He picks up a double kill. Dexter goes ahead and, I think, somehow lodges Sperm Sauce inside the Weaver's wall.
And that's an ace.
That's a clean ace. That's
a 4-for-1. I mean, you lost Commander, but that's still, you're losing your top laner for 5. That's an inhib.
Yeah, that's about as good as that Taste of Purple could have hoped for, honestly.
Literally what we had just talked about.
the miracle fight goes south there. They didn't even really throw anything toward the dragon by the time that it had been killed. Mm-hmm. And now that Taste of Purple has the inhibitor down. They can back off, set up Baron, and try to close out this game very quickly.
I wish we could see how much damage each champion did to that dragon, because like with Brain passive, how much was he able to like delete the dragon himself?
Yeah, it was certainly really impressive. As quickly as they burned that down, because immediately, as soon as we were back in, Neo teleported. Del Taco popped that Predator to try to run in. They've caught Commander on the side here. This is not what you do to close out the game, but he's going to get away with the Infinite Duress. The Lux Ultimate sails wide. We didn't even get to look at it, so... Oh, it actually hit because he's low. Anyway, this is a Hail Mary from Hungover Gragas as they start up the Baron. They're not going through this particularly quickly. Ephraim and Dexter on one side, Commander on the other, as HQ pushes in. Sperm Sauce and Glitter Bay both explode from the damage there as Commander goes down again. Neo's forced to use the Blast Cone away. Baron is just happily regenning in his pit now. And Dexter's going to go ahead and pick that one up as well. The last tick of the threaded volley able to pick that one up as well. He's up to 7-0-8 this game. And they're not even gonna look at Baron right now. They're just not gonna risk it. We're gonna push in.
Yep, you got minions crashing into their tier 2 bottom. That might be a tower there, free money there. They're gonna get the inhib here. So they'll be, well, maybe not.
Flash flip there. You're gonna trade 1-for-1 there as Ezreal got able to pick off Dexter at the back. Meanwhile, Sperm Sauce gets flipped and killed in the front. So 1-for-1 at their own inhibitor. Del Taco and Ezreal God trying to chase him down. Gets the slow onto Ephraim. There's a stun. But he's pretty tanky. And Tacet Nocto's dishing out damage now with the Essence Reaver.
Yeah, Ephraim still has his passive up, and he has a Spirit Message now. So as you can see, he's a little bit healthy again.
And you see no healing debuff whatsoever on the side of Hungover Gragas yet. The Morello's, it looks like, is
on the way.
Is on the way from Lux, but it's not in time.
You're also playing. It's also Lux. It's harder to, unless you land somehow like a 5-man E. It's really hard to apply the healing debuff onto everyone that needs to.
Commander gets a tower in bottom lane for his trouble, and this is a 4-man squad starting at Baron. You can see the closest ward for Hungover Gragas is here at their blue buff, so this should be pretty free. As Ephraim He didn't even have smite up, actually, so he goes ahead and just bites the Baron to death. What a man.
Commander also snuck out with that red buff right in front of Skarner.
Oh, the cheeky red buff steal.
Yeah, I mean, he had it pulled into a bush, but Taco didn't even check the bush.
Weaver's wall coming in. He's going to trap Ezreal God. Does he get the knockback? He does. And the secure 8th kill of the game for Duckster. Unfortunately, lost his perfect game on the flash Twitch auto earlier. And the blue buff's going to go over to HQ. Got to pass that over to the support brand.
Yeah. So support by, like, probably second most damage on the team, maybe?
Maybe top. I don't know. Like, Duckster's doing a lot of damage, but it's...
Yeah.
But HQ has 2 people to blow up, whereas Duckster only has 1 in lane.
That's true. Final spark user just to attempt to clear a wave.
Yeah, luckily that cooldown isn't super long. It's not... Oh, Del Taco's gonna go for it. He's gonna get the tower. Is he gonna get the tower? He's doing 20 damage in auto. He's gonna get it. Oh, that super's gonna mess him up though. And here's Commander. the flip from Ephraim and bot lane's gonna pick up 1. Commander missed. Oh, he doesn't actually have Infinite Duress available. He's pressing Q. He's chasing him. The hunt gets the slow, cancels an auto, gets the kill. And we get the hearty, full-bodied laugh of Volibear as they push in toward the base. 21 kills ahead of their opponent. Now just going to go through and... Well, Neo was in the middle of that. I thought it was just a minion for some reason.
I mean, currently he's 0-8, and might as well be worth as much. Poor guy.
Nexus turret's under fire.
Ooh, the Pyroclasm.
Yeah, the Pyroclasm doing a little bit of work there as the Culling able to secure a couple of kills there on the Nexus. 32-8 is going to be the final kill count in a 26-minute and 6-second game as that Tasted Purple take the 2-0 win.
Hey, I did say 25 minutes. I was pretty close to it.
We were a little bit over on our estimate there. Basically, everything after that Dragon Pause that could have gone wrong did go wrong for Hungover Gragas. Do you want to give out an MVP for Game 2 and for the series?
Yeah, so Game 2, I'm going to check the stats just to see. So I think that last Pyroclasm actually bumped HQ up to #1 damage. Did over 1,000 more than Duxter. For Game 2, definitely got to give it to HQ. Literally was like solo killing the bottom lane. Let the Lucian kind of get free farm. And then just was deleting people left and right. Landed plenty of stuns, a couple on invisible twitches, I believe, as well. For the series, though, you have to give it to Duckster. Strong performance on the Rise Game 1, gave him MVP for that. Now 9-1-11 on Talia Game 2. Had an impact top, impact in bottom. I appreciate seeing him make the improvement, making the impact around the map from concerning what his performance was like last week. So I'll give him my series MVP.
Yeah, I am completely in agreement with everything that you just said. Again, I thought FM had a pretty good game. He's been probably the most, I'll say the most consistent member of that Tasted Purple. Seems to show up every game. And this was a really good team performance in game number 2. We saw the hype game and the comeback in game number 1. This one was much more standard. They were able to get a lead. They continued just to bash in heads, and they did a really nice job in game number 2. Well,
for sure.
With that said, that's going to do it here for us tonight. My name's Meristematic. You can follow me at twitch.tv/Meristematic or MeristematicSC on Twitter. My co-caster, thanks for joining me tonight, is Wing Nation. He's twitch.tv/Wing Nation.
Wing Nation, yep.
And then on Twitter is winged_nation, if you want to follow him.
Yes. That guy needs to give me that underscore back.
Anyway, we really appreciate you guys tuning in. I don't think we have too much more to say. I don't know when the next game is, so I don't know when the next cast is, or I would tell you that. So, yeah, deal with it. Look at the Discord, I guess. Have a good night, everybody.
Thursday.